This is from Forbes. Top economists from Harvard, Princeton, Berkeley, and more urge Congress to send more stimulus checks to keep Americans out of poverty. A group of 125 economists organized by the Economic Security Project is calling for lawmakers to authorize another round of direct payments to Americans to help the economy through the winter months. They're not doing it. Nancy Pelosi is not going to do that. Nearly 19 million Americans could lose their homes when evictions limits expire December 31st. Pelosi now backs a stimulus deal that's half the size of what the White House offered before the election. So Trump was offering her a stimulus deal. She nixed the stimulus deal because she didn't want to give Trump an electoral victory, and now you don't get your check. And now that stimulus is $1 trillion less because she wanted to make sure Trump lost. So now you don't get an extra $1 trillion in stimulus because that's the deal she negotiated. Can you fucking believe that? That's the deal she negotiated, half. And the reason why she said no to the stimulus before was because she said it was a half a loaf. Well, this is a half a loaf, and she's going for it because it's after the election. It's not going to help Trump. Democrats are so bad at negotiating, they'd screw up something from the free section on Craigslist. No serious discussion today about adding a $1,200 stimulus check to bipartisan stimulus plan. So they're not doing that. Nancy Pelosi is going to pass a fucking $900 billion stimulus with no payment to you. Nothing for you. Do you know how they do it in the rest of the world? The rest of the world, when they close your business, they pay your paycheck for you. In Japan, they pay 100%. In the Netherlands, they pay 90%. In Norway, they pay 90%. Germany, France, 90%, 87%. Italy, they pay 80% of your wages. The United Kingdom and England, they pay 80% of people's wages if they close your business down. In Canada, 75%. In the United States, you know how much they pay if they close your business down? Zero. They just close your business down and they go, fuck you. Go miss a rent payment. Go miss your mortgage payment. Go miss your car payment. Go not have money to pay your kids' tuition. Go not have money to buy food. That's what the United States is doing. There's no reason for it. It's unconscionable. What George Carlin said is true. They don't give a fuck about you at all. That's it. This is how they're handling it. Nancy Pelosi runs the House. That's how they're handling it. Hey, here's the number of citizens who lost their health care coverage since the pandemic began. 14,600,000 people have lost their health care coverage in the United States. You know the rest of the world? Zero. Nobody in the UK, Spain, Japan, Italy, Finland, Denmark, Canada, Belgium, Australia, nobody lost health care. In the United States, 14,600,000 people lost health care. Nancy Pelosi says she backs a smaller stimulus because Biden won. Rejecting the higher offer, she says, was not a mistake. She says it was not a mistake. In other words, what she's saying is, I don't really give a shit about helping people. This is all a game. Despite a refusal for roughly the past 6 months to advance a smaller aid package that she deemed half a loaf, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi is now willing to support a bipartisan stimulus bill worth less than half her previous demand, thanks in part to Joe Biden. Despite a refusal for roughly the past 6 months to advance a smaller aid package that she deemed half a loaf, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi is now willing to support a bipartisan stimulus bill worth less than half her previous demand, thanks to, in part, Joe Biden's victory. Pelosi said she had no qualms about rejecting the Trump administration's offer before the election that was more than double the $900 billion proposal. No qualms rejecting something that was double. And here she is saying it again. You want to see it?
Not to accept half of a loaf months ago when you said, I'm not going to accept half a loaf.
Look, I'm going to tell you something.
now
Don't characterize what we did before as a mistake, as a preface to your question, if you want an answer.
Wow. Does that sound like Trump? That sounds exactly like, do not say I made a mistake if you want an answer to your question. That sounds like Trump. Isn't that the crazy shit? Somebody should do, they'll do it, videos all day. Trump freaks out on reporter. No one will do a video about Nancy Pelosi freaks out on reporter. That's exactly what Trump would say. They are exactly the same. She'll deny you help in a crisis. He'll deny you help in a crisis. She'll deny you health care in a crisis. She'll deny you health care in a crisis. She'll spend money on bombs in the middle of a healthcare crisis instead of healthcare. He'll spend money on bombs in the middle of a healthcare crisis instead of healthcare. They are exactly alike. She will admonish like a maniac. You better change your question. If you say I made a mistake, I'm not answering your. If you want to answer that question, say I didn't make a mistake. Are you fucking? If Trump did that, Stephen Colbert would do this for a week, make fun of that.
I'm not going to accept half a loaf.
Look, I'm going to tell you something. Don't characterize what we did before as a mistake, as a preface to your question, if you want an answer. That was not a mistake. It was a decision, and it has taken us to a place where we can do the right thing without other, shall we say, considerations in the legislation that we don't want. So we're very pleased at where it is, and as I say,
very pleased
with a Democratic president.
She's very pleased. Thousands in food lines, no cash payment for you. It's almost half of what was being offered before the election. She's very pleased, and don't you dare say she made a mistake as you get kicked out of her house. As you get kicked out of your house, as your kids starve, as you have no health care, how dare you say she made a mistake? And all my comedy friends on on Twitter who are blue checks, you can all go fuck yourself. Hard. Every asshole who thinks they're on the left, who's a comedian on fucking Twitter, who's a blue check person, who says to me you don't have any solutions, go fuck yourself in the ass with a pine tree.
Committed to a scientific solution for this with the idea that we will have a vaccine. It's a complete game changer from them.
So she's saying the big difference.
So now watch CNN. Watch CNN try to polish that turd. Watch this.
Now is that Joe Biden is coming in as president, and then since he's president, they could get more of what they had been seeking at a later time, which is why she says that the posture and the dynamics.
They don't even comment on her saying, "Don't you dare say I made a mistake. How dare you?" They don't even comment on that. She just dropped a huge turd. She's getting half of what she could have got a couple of weeks ago. People are starving, and this guy is going to paint it as if she's doing the right thing. I'm not, you think I'm kidding?
Changed on Capitol Hill, so she's making she's not showing any remorse or regret for her position for some time, saying that we'll eventually get the big package that we have been looking for. And what they're trying to do right now, Brianna, is tie this relief to a funding bill to keep the government open, and time is ticking because they got to avoid a government shutdown by next Friday, try to get it to that. But if they can't get a deal by next Friday, they may have to punt it for another week and see if they can ultimately get a deal that's been eluding the two sides.
That's his commentary on that. That's his commentary on that. Oh, they're trying to see if they can get a deal. They're trying. That's that guy's commentary on that. Are you? There's so much mental gymnastics happening there. That guy qualifies for the Olympics. Oh, yeah, she compromised because with Joe, they're going to get a lot more later. This is CNN doing public relations for Nancy Pelosi. Because this is Nancy Pelosi.
The president does not want to legislate and just wants to have his name on a check. That ain't going to happen.
She's smug about it. And now she gets half of that for people, and they don't even get a cash payment. $5 trillion for her friends and her husband. Go pound sand for you. I love this person says, I haven't even received my first $1,200 payment. $1,200 twice in 1 year is absurd compared to what the other countries are doing. It's unfathomable. It is other countries are paying people's full salaries. Pelosi is always willing to screw over the people if she gets what she thinks is an election or a fundraising issue. That is what she did here. Instead of getting people help during a deadly pandemic, Pelosi instead wanted the election issue. She wanted that as an issue in the election, is it right? Mm-hmm. She got it, and guess what the people got? Nothing. Nothing. And here's now Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders is saying now he's not going to vote for this new stimulus. What? He voted for the $5 trillion giveaway when he actually had leverage, but this one he's going to stand up to. This one. This one Bernie Sanders is going to see. He found his ball sack. This one. Bernie Sanders now says he vows to vote against the $908 billion relief deal without significant changes. He's calling for including a $1,200 stimulus check or scrapping the liability shield. That's it? That's what he's calling for, $1,200? Is that what Bernie Sanders is calling for, $1,200 in a $1 trillion stimulus bill? Way to fight for us, Bernie. Thanks for fighting. Thanks for not doing anything during the CARES Act. Thanks for not extracting anything out of Joe Biden when you threw your movement under the bus. Now you got him. You got Joe Biden as president. Now everything's better, right, Bernie? Now go get your stuff done. You won't even call out Chuck Schumer. You'll never call out Chuck Schumer, Bernie. Why? Because you're a cuck to power. You're a cuck. And you're a sheep herder for the Democratic Party. You will never stand up to Chuck Schumer, you fucking liar. Go ahead, call him out. Call him out for the CARES Act, will you? No, you won't. Oh, that's right, because you voted for it. Because you're complicit. You're a good boy. Bernie's a good boy. Coward. Bernie's a coward. Hey, everybody, this is the part where I tell you where all our live shows are, but there aren't any. And then this is why I tell you to join our premium program and get extra content, but nobody's got a fucking job. So just enjoy the video.